welcomed back home. Images of happy soldiers returning from the front are broadcast almost every day on Ukrainian television. But pictures like these are not shown. They were recorded just a few weeks ago, as Ukrainian soldiers were surrounded by rebels near Ilovaisk. It was a brutal battle, a bloodbath. Medic Mikhail Gulak was in the thick of it. He says of the 400 Ukrainian troops fighting in that battle, only a third survived. He himself was injured.
We don't have proper weapons or vehicles. I belong to a special unit of the Interior Ministry, and we were taken to the front in a large taxi, a taxi without brakes. My colleague Kolya was the driver, and I sat next to him providing cover with my machine gun.
The battle at Ilovaisk was the Ukrainian forces' biggest defeat so far. Mikhail believes it was only God who enabled him to survive, not his gun or his generals.
There were 250 volunteers in our battalion. Only 90 said they were prepared to fight. The rest refused, not because they were afraid, but because they were smart. Lots more would have fought if they were properly armed. We barely had enough weapons to defend ourselves, let alone launch an offensive.
For days, Mikhail and his colleague Kolya looked after the survivors of the rout. They conducted operations in makeshift facilities and public buildings, using supplies that were decades old. Outside, desperate troops waited for a convoy to be evacuated to safety. Many never made it.
We only had 2 doctors for every 100 men in the battalion. The regulations say that there has to be at least 10 doctors for every 100 soldiers. There was no transport to evacuate the wounded. We couldn't carry them on stretchers for 20 kilometers. I felt so sorry for the wounded. I stroked them and told them everything would be all right, even though I knew some of them would die within minutes. What are you supposed to do? This is war.
A war that is still going on in spite of the ceasefire. And a war in which a safe homecoming is something many never get to experience.